You think wisdom comes with age? You're lying to yourself. I've seen 70-year-old fools and 20-year-old sages. Time doesn't make you wise, it just makes you old. And most of you? You're not even living long enough to test that theory. You're already dead, walking around in a corpse you call a life, checking your phone every 5 minutes for another hit of meaningless validation. But Seneca was rich, you say. Easy for him to preach. You're right, he was obscenely wealthy. He advised Nero, yes, that Nero, the one who burned Rome for entertainment. And you know what he learned in the palace halls, surrounded by gold and madness? The same thing he discovered in exile. Stripped of everything, most people would rather die than think. And most do. Look at yourself. Go ahead, what did you do this morning? Woke up anxious about something that hasn't happened, scrolled through other people's manufactured lives, got angry at a headline designed to make you angry, worried about money while buying things you don't need to impress people you don't like. You call this living? This is what the philosophers call the walking death, and you've been doing it so long you think it's normal. Here's what nobody tells you about wisdom. It's not some mystical state you achieve after decades of meditation on a mountain. It's not about reading the right books or having the right teacher. Wisdom is what happens when you stop running from the only truth that matters. Everything you're afraid of has already happened. You're already dying. You've already lost everything. You just haven't noticed yet because you're too busy pretending otherwise. I need more time, you protest. I'm not ready. Not ready for what? To stop suffering unnecessarily? To quit poisoning yourself with your own thoughts? You're waiting for permission to be wise, like you're waiting for permission to breathe. Meanwhile, Fortune, that blind goddess who runs this casino we call existence, she's laughing at your plans. She's already dealing the cards, and you're still arguing about the rules of a game you've already lost. The Stoics knew something you've forgotten in your rush to optimize your morning routine and hack your productivity. The only moment you can ever be wise is this one. Not tomorrow, when you finally got your life together. Not when you've read enough philosophy. Right now, in the middle of your mess, with your heart racing and your thoughts spiraling, that's where wisdom lives or dies. You want 7 habits? I'll give you 7 habits. But first, you need to understand these aren't life hacks. These aren't shortcuts to success. These are practices for people who finally admitted they're drowning and want to learn how to swim. Because until you acknowledge you're already underwater, gasping for air, you think you're breathing, nothing I say will matter. The question isn't whether you're wise enough to understand what I'm about to tell you. The question is whether you're desperate enough to try it. First habit, write letters to death. Every morning, you wake up and pretend you're immortal. You make plans for next year, next decade, as if you've signed a contract with the universe guaranteeing your survival. Seneca wrote, Letter 26, "Every new thing excites the mind, but a mind that seeks truth turns from the new and superficial to the old and profound." You know what's old and profound? Your mortality. And you've been running from it since the day you learned what death meant. Write a letter to death tonight, not some poetic meditation on the beauty of impermanence. Write like you're negotiating with a creditor who's coming to collect tomorrow, because that's exactly what death is, the ultimate creditor, and you've been borrowing time on terms you never agreed to and can't renegotiate. Dear death, I know you're coming. I see you in my parents' faces, in my own hands, in the news, in the silence between heartbeats. Write it. Feel how your hand wants to stop, how your mind scrambles for distractions. That resistance? That's your life force finally waking up. Seneca did this every night, not because he was morbid, because he was alive. He'd catalog the day, what he'd wasted, what he'd learned, what illusions he'd shed. He knew something you keep forgetting. You can't appreciate what you refuse to acknowledge you'll lose. Your smartphone has 147 apps for tracking your steps, your sleep, your calories. You measure everything except the only metric that matters. how many days you have left, and you don't know that number. Nobody does. That uncertainty isn't a bug in the system. It's the feature that makes wisdom possible. Write to death like you're writing to a friend who's been waiting patiently while you've ignored their messages. Because every anxiety attack, every moment of existential dread, every 3 a.m. wake up with your heart pounding, that's death trying to get your attention, not to frighten you, to wake you up. The ancient Romans kept skulls on their desks. Memento mori, they'd whisper. Remember, you must die. You keep inspirational quotes on your screensaver. Live, laugh, love. You know why those words feel empty? Because you're trying to live without acknowledging death, laugh without understanding tragedy, love without accepting loss. It's like trying to see light without shadow. Impossible and meaningless if it weren't. Second habit. Practice voluntary discomfort. Your ancestors survived ice ages, plagues, and wars. You panic when the Wi-Fi drops. Something's broken in your survival software, and Seneca knew exactly what it was. Comfort is making you stupid. Once a month, Seneca would leave his mansion and sleep on the floor. He'd eat bread and water for 3 days. Wear his worst clothes. Not because he was some masochistic saint, because he was a strategic genius who understood that fear of losing comfort enslaves more people than actual poverty ever could. Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, "Is this the condition that I feared?" Letter 18 to Lucilius. He wasn't playing poverty tourist. He was inoculating himself against fortune's favorite weapon, the fear of loss. You're sitting in climate-controlled comfort reading this, terrified of losing what you have. Your possessions possess you. Your lifestyle imprisons you. You can't quit the job you hate because you can't imagine living without things you didn't need 5 years ago and won't remember 5 years from now. Take cold showers. Fast for 24 hours. Sleep on your floor this week. Walk instead of driving. Wear the same clothes for 3 days. You'll discover something that will terrify you more than any discomfort. You've been suffering for nothing. All that anxiety about maintaining your standard of living? You've been guarding a prison you built for yourself. The voluntary discomfort isn't about toughening up. It's about waking up. Every time you choose the hard path when the easy one is available, you're declaring independence from the tyranny of your own nervous system. You're teaching your mind a lesson it's forgotten. You are not your preferences. Your body throws these tantrums. I'm cold, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm bored, and you obey like a servant. Seneca turned the tables. He made his body the servant and his will the master, not through some superhuman discipline you don't possess. Through simple, regular practice of choosing discomfort before it chooses you. Every new experience undermines the empire of fear. That's not from Seneca, that's from your own experience, if you're honest. Remember the first time you spoke in public, traveled alone, ended a relationship? Terrifying, until you did it. Then fear's empire crumbled, and you wondered what took you so long. Third habit, study your judgments like a scientist. You're not upset by events. You're upset by your judgments about events. Seneca watched Rome burn, lost fortunes, was exiled, sentenced to death twice, and maintained a clarity you lose when someone cuts you off in traffic. The difference? He understood something you keep forgetting. Reality and your thoughts about reality are not the same thing. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, he wrote in letter 13. Test this, right now. What's bothering you? Not the event, your story about the event. Someone didn't text back? The event is silence. Your story is rejection, abandonment, proof you're unlovable. You're torturing yourself with fiction and calling it fact. Start a judgment journal, not your feelings. Your feelings are just weather. Track your judgments, those instant evaluations your mind slaps onto neutral events. This is bad. This is unfair. This shouldn't happen. These aren't observations. They're delusions. And they're ruining your life. Watch how your mind works. Someone gets promoted over you. Event, organizational change, your judgment. I'm a failure. Someone else's judgment. I'm free to find something better. Same event, opposite experiences. The event didn't create your suffering. Your judgment did. Seneca treated his mind like a laboratory. Every judgment became an experiment. Is this true? Is this helpful? Is this necessary? Most of your judgments fail all three tests. They're not true. They're predictions or interpretations. They're not helpful. They increase suffering. They're not necessary. Life continues fine without them. You've been hired as the narrator of your own life, and you're terrible at it. You're turning a decent story into a tragedy because you learned somewhere that suffering makes you deep. It doesn't. It just makes you suffer. And most of it is optional. The Stoics had a word, premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils. But you've been doing it wrong. You imagined disasters to feed your anxiety. Seneca imagined them to defang them. What's the worst that could happen? Okay, then what? And then? Follow the chain to its end. You'll find something shocking. Even your worst case scenario is workable. Your judgments are just habits, and like any habit, they can be changed. Not through positive thinking. Seneca wasn't selling delusion. Through observation, through testing, through the radical act of questioning the voice in your head that's been lying to you since you learned to think. Fourth habit. Own your morning, own your life. Marcus Aurelius rose before dawn. Seneca owned his mornings. Every successful philosopher, emperor, or thinker who left their mark on eternity had one thing in common. They treated the first hour of the day like conquered territory. You wake up already defeated. Check your phone before your feet hit the floor. Mainline anxiety with your coffee. React, respond, put out fires that aren't even burning yet. By 9 a.m., you've given away every ounce of mental sovereignty you had. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Seneca wrote that, and he lived it every dawn. The morning is your chance to end the person you were yesterday and begin the person you're becoming. Instead, you're using it to reinforce every pattern that's keeping you stuck. Get up before you want to, not at some masochistic 4 a.m. if that's not you, just before comfort tells you to. In that gap between when you could rise and when you do lies your entire character, win that battle, and the day is yours before it starts. No phone for the first hour, no email, no news, no other people's priorities. Seneca used this time for what he called gathering himself. You're so scattered, you don't even know what that means. You haven't been gathered in one place since you got your first notification. Write, read, think, move your body, not for productivity, for sovereignty. You're establishing who's in charge before the world starts making demands. You're building a fortress of clarity that the day's chaos can't breach. Life is long if you know how to use it, Seneca told Paulinus. You think life is short because you're giving it away in the first hour. You're starting each day in debt, borrowing energy from tomorrow to pay for today's poor choices. The morning is your chance to live debt-free. The world wants you reactive. It profits from your anxiety, feeds on your distraction, grows strong on your weakness. Every notification is designed to bypass your prefrontal cortex and hit your amygdala. You're being programmed, and the first hour is when your defenses are lowest. Own your morning, or it owns you. There's no middle ground. Either you're directing your attention, or it's being directed for you. Either you're choosing your thoughts, or they're being chosen by algorithms designed to addict you. Seneca knew, win the morning, and you've won the day. Win enough days, and you've won your life back from the forces trying to steal it one notification at a time. Fifth habit, turn everyone into your teacher. You're surrounded by teachers, and you're ignoring them all because they're not wearing togas or giving TED Talks. That idiot boss? Teaching you patience. That ex who broke your heart? Teaching you resilience. That success story you hate? Teaching you about your own envy. Seneca learned from everyone. Slaves, emperors, merchants, philosophers. He treated life like a university where everyone had something to teach. Every man can teach us something if we're humble enough to learn, he wrote to Lucilius in Letter 7. You've divided the world into people worth listening to and people worth dismissing. This arrogance is making you stupid. The janitor understands systems you don't. The child sees truths you've forgotten. The enemy knows your weaknesses better than your friends. Start today. That person who irritates you most, they're your professor of patience. Study them. What triggers you? Why? What part of yourself do you see reflected that you can't stand? That's not psychology. That's philosophy in action. Seneca had Nero as a student. Nero, the matricidal, megalomaniacal monster who would eventually order Seneca's death, and still Seneca learned. He learned about power's corruption, about the futility of trying to change someone who won't change themselves, about maintaining dignity in impossible situations. Your worst enemy is your best teacher. They show you your edges, your limits, your unhealed wounds. Your friends let you stay comfortable. Your enemies force you to grow, not because they want to help you, because their very existence challenges your complacency. Associate with those who will make a better person of you, Seneca counseled. But he didn't mean just hang out with saints. He meant recognize that everyone is making you better if you're paying attention. The liar teaches you to value truth. The cruel teach you compassion. The weak teach you strength's responsibility. You're walking through a masterclass in human nature every day and taking no notes. That road rage incident. Lesson in emotional control. That gossiping coworker. Lesson in discretion. That friend who betrayed you? Lesson in self-reliance. Stop waiting for the perfect teacher. Stop thinking wisdom comes only from books, or gurus, or ancient texts. The drunk on the street corner might deliver the exact words you need to hear. The child's question might shatter a belief you've carried for decades. The enemy's criticism might contain the truth your friends are too kind to tell you. Everyone is teaching. The question is, are you learning? Or are you so busy judging, categorizing, dismissing that you're missing the education life is desperately trying to give you? Sixth habit. Rehearse poverty before it arrives. You're one paycheck, one diagnosis, one market crash away from everything changing. And you know it. That knowledge sits in your stomach like a stone, generating the low-grade anxiety that powers your entire life. Seneca had the cure, but you're not going to like it. The acquisition of riches has been for many men not an end, but a change of troubles. He observed in Letter 17, he should know he was one of Rome's richest men, but unlike you, he wasn't afraid of losing it all because he practiced losing it regularly. Once a month, live on the minimum. Not the minimum you think you need, the actual minimum. Beans and rice, water, basic shelter, no entertainment, no comfort purchases, no escapes. Feel how your mind rebels, how it insists this is unnecessary, extreme, pointless. That rebellion is fear-talking. You've confused standard of living with quality of life. You've let lifestyle inflation convince you that needs are wants and wants are needs. Your grandfather was happier with less than you are with more. And you know it. But knowing and understanding are different things. Wear your worst clothes for a week, not your comfortable casual clothes, your worst. Feel how nothing actually changes except your ego's discomfort. Notice how the world doesn't end, how people don't actually care, how your worth doesn't diminish. you've been protecting an illusion. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor, Seneca told Lucilius. You're craving more while fearing less. This psychological split is tearing you apart. The cure isn't getting more, it's needing less, and you can't need less until you've experienced less and survived. Cancel your subscriptions. All of them. For 1 month. Netflix, Spotify, whatever digital pacifiers you're using. Feel the boredom. Feel the silence. Feel how your mind scrambles for stimulation like an addict needing a fix. That's not entertainment you're missing. It's anesthesia. Seneca's rehearsals of poverty weren't about preparing for financial ruin. They were about discovering that financial ruin wasn't ruinous. Every time he proved he could be content with nothing, he became invincible to fortune's threats. What can you take from someone who's already given it up? You're so afraid of losing what you have that you can't enjoy having it. You're like someone at a feast who can't taste the food because they're worried it might run out. The rehearsal of poverty isn't pessimism. It's the ultimate optimism. It's proving to yourself that you're bigger than your circumstances. Try it this week, not next month when it's convenient. This week, live on $20, walk instead of driving, turn off the heat and wear layers, discover what billions of people already know. It's possible to be fully human without any of the things you're killing yourself to keep. The fear of poverty is making you poor. Poor in spirit, poor in joy, poor in freedom. Rehearse the thing you fear and watch it lose its power. Seneca knew the wealthy person isn't the one who has the most, but the one who fears losing the least. 7th habit. Die every night. This is where you close the browser. This is too much, too dark, too extreme. Good. That resistance you're feeling? That's exactly why you need this habit more than all the others combined. Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life, Seneca wrote in Letter 54. Every night before bed, he'd conduct a ritual you've been avoiding your entire life. He'd die to the day, completely, finally, without hope of return. Review your day as if from your deathbed. Not tomorrow's deathbed, not next year's, tonight's. This was your last day. How did you spend it? Scrolling through strangers' lives? Arguing about politics? Worrying about problems that solve themselves or never mattered? The quality of your death determines the quality of your life. If you can't die to today, you can't live tomorrow. You're dragging corpses of dead days into each new dawn, wondering why everything feels heavy, why nothing feels fresh, why you're tired all the time. Every night I die, every morning I am born again. That's not Seneca. That's what Seneca understood. You go to bed planning tomorrow's anxieties instead of burying today's failures. You wake up pre-stressed, pre-defeated, preoccupied with yesterday's ghosts. Write your own eulogy. Tonight. For the person who died today, what did they accomplish? What did they leave undone? What did they waste time fearing that never happened? What did they postpone that can never be recovered? Be brutal. The dead deserve honesty. This isn't morbid, this is sanity. Every spiritual tradition knows it. You must die before you die. The Christians call it being born again. The Buddhists call it ego death. The Stoics called it the discipline of desire. Different words, same truth. Clinging to life is what's killing you. You're trying to preserve something that's already gone. Every moment you've experienced is dead. Every person you've been is a ghost. Every plan you've made is a fantasy. The only thing alive is this moment, and you're missing it because you're busy managing the dead. Let us balance life's books each day, Seneca insisted. In Letter 83, not your financial books, your existential ones. What did you owe life today? What did you pay? What debt remains clear the accounts. Start tomorrow clean. The person who can't die each night lives as a slave to yesterday's mistakes, tomorrow's fears, the endless cycle of repetition you call your life. The person who dies each night wakes free. No karma, no baggage, no momentum carrying them where they don't want to go. Try it tonight. Turn off the lights and acknowledge, this day is dead. I am dead to this day. Tomorrow, if it comes, I will be someone new. Feel how your mind panics, wants to plan, wants to worry, wants to continue. That's the ego fighting its nightly execution. Let it die. It'll be back tomorrow, fresh and stupid as ever. Seneca died well because he practiced every night. When Nero's soldiers arrived with the final order, Seneca was ready. Not because he was suicidal, because he was fully lived. He'd extracted every drop of wisdom from life by accepting death as life's partner, not its enemy. The choice is always the same. So there they are, 7 habits. Not life hacks, not quick fixes, not comfortable adjustments to your existing dysfunction. 7 radical practices that will fundamentally rewire how you exist in the world. And you're already making excuses why you can't do them. I have responsibilities. So did Seneca. He ran an empire's finances. I'm too busy. You have the same 24 hours Seneca used to become immortal. This is too extreme. Your anxiety is extreme. Your dissatisfaction is extreme. Your quiet desperation is extreme. These practices are proportionate medicine. Seneca didn't write for philosophers. He wrote for people like you, successful on the outside, falling apart on the inside, knowing something's wrong but not knowing how to fix it. He wrote for humans caught between animal instinct and divine possibility, fumbling in the dark for a switch they can't find. The switch isn't hidden. You're looking in the wrong place. You're looking outside, in books, in teachers, in techniques. The switch is inside, and it's always in the same place. The choice between comfort and growth, between sleep and awakening, between the life you're living and the life you could live. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. You want a new beginning, then create an ending. End your addiction to comfort. End your enslavement to opinion. End your identification with thoughts and things that were never you to begin with. These 7 habits aren't additions to your life. They're subtractions. Subtracting illusion, subtracting fear, subtracting the unnecessary suffering you've been choosing because you didn't know there was a choice. You've read this far. That means something in you is ready to change, not your circumstances. Those will change when you do. You. The one who's been reading. The one who's been resisting. The one who knows these words are true even as your mind scrambles for exceptions and excuses. Start tonight. 1 habit. Choose the one that scares you most. That's the one you need. Write to death, or sleep on your floor, or track your judgments, or die to this day. Just start. Not tomorrow, not when you're ready. Now when you're not ready, because that's the only time growth happens. Seneca is dust. His wisdom lives. You're temporarily flesh. Your choice determines whether you're anything more. These habits aren't about becoming wise. They're about admitting you're not and doing something about it. The Stoics had a phrase, amor fati, love of fate, not resignation, not passive acceptance, active embrace of what is, combined with fierce determination to become what you could be. These habits are the bridge between those 2 states. You opened this looking for wisdom, but wisdom isn't something you find. It's something you become. And you become it by doing what the wise have always done. Facing truth, choosing discomfort, questioning everything, and practicing death until you're finally free to live. The choice is always the same. Stay comfortable and spiritually dead, or get uncomfortable and spiritually alive. 7 habits. 7 doors. 7 ways to stop lying to yourself and start living as the universe intended. Fully conscious, fully responsible, fully free. Seneca's final letter ended mid-sentence. Death came while he was still writing, still teaching, still transforming ink into immortality. When your death comes, and it will you be mid-sentence in your real life? Or will you still be composing drafts, making plans, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes? The habits are here. The choice is yours. The time is now. Always now. Only now. Everything else is memory or imagination, and neither can save you from the poverty of an unlived life. Choose wisely. Choose quickly. Choose as if your life depends on it. Because it does.